They said it couldn't be done. I mean, how are you going to capture people's attention with a video about a rock? Unless you happen to be a geologist, but I don't know how many geologists are watching this channel. This channel is for people interested in reverse engineering nostalgia from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I know what you're thinking. Pet rock, right? Nah, better. I'm thinking something a bit more powerful. So, how are we going to do it? I've got a few ideas. Was there something from your childhood that you begged your parents for but never received? Some of you may have had pie-in-the-sky dreams of getting something outlandish and cumbersome, like the G.I. Joe USS Flag.
Introducing the G.I. Joe USS Flag aircraft carrier.
Flag aircraft! Cobra! Yeah!
Others may have longed for the simpler things in life, like that one limited edition Happy Meal toy that you needed to complete your collection.
Good times have a great taste of McDonald's. Let's go!
And then there were kids like me with the odd obsession of wanting to own a rock painted green.
I got a chocolate bar. I got a quarter. I got a rock.
Okay, I realize this story requires a little bit of an explanation. So, to do that, we're going to step into the Wayback Machine and time travel all the way back to 1978. That was the year moviegoers were first introduced to the cinematic masterpiece that paved the way for the superhero genre as we know it. That was the year Superman the movie premiered. I was determined to be one of the first in line to see Christopher Reeve don the famous blue and red tights and embody the titular hero on the big screen. I wanted so much to believe that a man could fly. However, my hopes and dreams would take a bit of a detour as I was ushered into the lobby of the Cineplex. There ahead of me in the concession stand, I spotted it. In a glass case, nestled between the Juji fruit and the Junior Mints, there it stood, that shining souvenir from Superman's homeworld, Kryptonite. I had to have it. I dropped to my knees and I pleaded with my father, "Dad, can I please have some Kryptonite?" My father surveyed the glass case and furrowed his brow. "Kryptonite? That's just a rock painted green. I'm not paying for that. If that's what you want, I'll paint a rock green for you when we get home." And that was it. My dreams shattered. I never got my Kryptonite. And add insult to injury, my dad never even painted me that lousy green rock. So today, 40 years later, I am going to rewrite that chapter in my history. I am going to paint that damn rock, and it's going to be epic. So if you were ever intimidated by any of the projects on this channel, we got an easy one for you. Today, we're making Kryptonite. So join me, Scott Serkland, in the art lab. Let's suit up. Right about now, you're probably asking yourself, what happened to that other guy from the intro, and who's this new guy with the glasses? Well, let me let you in on a little secret. That other guy? It was me all along. I know, mind blown, but do me a favor. Don't let anyone know about my little secret identity. Where was I? Oh yeah, Kryptonite. So, to be honest, I wasn't even sure if I should do this project. I mean, you probably don't need a video to show you how to paint a rock. First, I thought about doing something a little more elaborate, like trying to replicate the translucent look of the Kryptonian crystals from the movie. But this channel is all about recreating nostalgia from the past. And if you look at this book, Mail Order Mysteries, a great book, by the way, and one we will definitely be referring to in future videos. I'll leave a link in the description. As you can see, this mail-away Kryptonite is basically what my dad said it was, just an ordinary rock painted green. And we want to honor that. I think the thing that's going to make this project interesting is the packaging we create and the story we wrap around it. A successful marketer once said, "Sell the sizzle, not the steak." And these comic book ads, they weren't selling kids a rock. They were selling them a story. A story they could expand upon using their imagination. Own a piece of Superman's homeworld. Would they become a friend of the Man of Steel and hold it for safekeeping like the ad suggests? Or use it for more nefarious reasons? We'll craft our own story, but now that we have a better understanding of what we're going to be making, let's set a few ground rules. Rule number 1, respect the original. That shouldn't be too hard judging by these references. Rule number 2, whenever possible, use common everyday tools and materials. Pretty simple, really. And rule number 3, make it your own. Even though we're heavily inspired by the legend of the last son of Krypton, one thing I try to do with these projects is avoid any copyright or trademark infringements. So sorry, we won't actually be using the moniker Superman or be making any references to Kryptonite in our design. Let's talk about tools. For this project, you'll need a program to design your packaging. I'll be using the Adobe Creative Cloud. Some heavy cardstock, a printer, a way to cut out your packaging, a Cricut machine, X-Acto knife, or scissors, white spray primer, some glow-in-the-dark paint. I'll leave affiliate links to the paint that I'm using, plus links to all of these other materials. And of course, a rock. I won't be leaving a link to this, so you're on your own. Now to brainstorm some ideas for our project. The odd thing about selling Kryptonite to kids is that it's the one thing that can kill Superman, or at least strip him of his powers.
That's Kryptonite, Superman. Little souvenir from the old hometown. I've spared no expense to make you feel right at home.
What if, instead of hawking something that renders superheroes powerless, we sell kids on the idea that our meteorite could grant them superpowers? Because the original Kryptonite rock glows in the dark, we want to utilize that feature. I don't know about you, but when I think of something that glows in the dark, my mind goes straight to radioactivity. And as we all know, it is well documented that radioactivity is the key to gaining superpowers. Radioactivity in comics. Radioactivity in real life. Help me, I'm melting. So that's our hook. Sell children on the hope that exposure to our radioactive meteorite will give them superhuman abilities. We'll also make sure to add a disclaimer that we're not liable if they don't get superpowers or, God forbid, they get radiation sickness. I'll just create some clever ad copy to drive that idea home. In the meantime, I'm going to begin to lay out a template for our packaging, making sure it's big enough for whatever size rock we decide to use. Since we're selling the sizzle here, I want to lean into the unboxing experience and create a box within a box. I'm going to create not one, but 2 box templates. You'll see what I have in mind soon enough. If you're subscribed to my mailing list, you'll get one of these blank package templates for free, not to mention the free Comic Maker Starter Kit, packed full with digital assets for making comics. For the outside box, I'm going to make it abundantly clear that this box's contents could be radioactive. So I'm going to make a scaled down version of this plutonium case that I just happen to have laying around here in the underground lair. Some members of my Patreon community may have access not only to the blank templates, but the finished art files for this project. I'm laying out the design for the inner box, taking inspiration from the original Kryptonite packaging. I'm going to use a few assets from another one of my digital products, the amazing comic book World Builder. This pack has a number of different backgrounds that we can pull from and add into our design. I'm going to combine a few of these outer space backgrounds. It's time to design my superhero. There are a number of heroic poses we can pull from the amazing comic book world builder. This is where I'm going to deviate slightly from Superman. I want this hero to represent my brand, so instead of a red cape, let's give him that trademark green lab coat. In addition to the Adobe Creative Cloud, I usually do most of my illustrations in Clip Studio Paint. It's my favorite drawing app. I use a number of different apps. The key is to use whatever works best for you personally. With the line art finished, it's time to add some color to this character. To design the type, I'm going to start with my Raucous font. It's available in the Comic Maker Starter Kit that I mentioned earlier, available on my website. Now to combine all of the elements to create the finished package. In my search to find the perfect rocks for meteorites, I decided to use lava rocks. To me, they resemble meteors with all the cracks and crevices, and they're fairly lightweight as far as rocks go. I'm going to wash and dry these rocks just to get any dirt off and hopefully allow the primer to stick better. Now it's time to prime the rocks. I have a feeling that the glow-in-the-dark paint is going to have a better effect when it's painted over a lighter surface. One thing that I forgot to mention when I discussed tools are rubber gloves. This will help make sure you don't get radioactive glowing paint all over your fingers.
Meteor ship!
Now to paint our meteorite. While the Kryptonite rocks are basically green, we aren't bound to those same limitations. We can choose from a few different glow-in-the-dark colors. The fun thing about what is essentially a blind box is the anticipation of wondering what color you're going to get. Collect them all. The glow-in-the-dark paint takes a number of different coats. I read a lot of reviews on different paints, and every paint brand I looked at had mixed reviews. This one was one of the better reviewed paints, but if you have any recommendations for glow-in-the-dark paint, I'm all ears. Even though originally I was hoping for a completely solid goal, that might not have been realistic. And in the end, I kind of like the little inconsistencies, where some parts glow more than others, and I think it looks a little more natural. Like if you're a fan of things that glow in the dark. What's one of your favorite glow-in-the-dark items? Let me know in the comments. Now that we have our meteorites painted, it's time to cut and fold our boxes. I'm printing out my box designs on heavy cardstock. I'm using my X-Acto knife to score where I want the box to fold. In order to score the cardstock, you want to lightly run your X-Acto over the folds. You don't want to cut all the way through. With everything scored, we can press down more firmly to cut out the outline shape of our boxes. Let's begin assembling our boxes. I just love seeing these projects come together, don't you? One thing left to do, and that is to package everything together. Here it is, our radioactive cosmic meteorite. Let's have a closer look. Check it out. Warning, the long-term effects of the radioactive cosmic meteorite are unknown. Serkworks Art Labs makes no guarantee that this product will result in obtaining superpowers. In addition, the manufacturer is not responsible for any adverse reactions caused by exposure to this product. Discontinue if you experience any of the following side effects: itching, runny nose, amnesia, hearing loss, blurred vision, intense flatulence, slurred speech, sudden hair loss, increased heart rate, profuse sweating, uncontrollable vomiting, heart palpitations, burning sensations, hives, open sores, and lesions. Use with caution. Results may vary. Scratch another item off the bucket list. I finally have my Kryptonite, or rather my own brand of mail order meteorite, which, if you ask me, I think is even cooler. If you're interested in recreating classic memories from your childhood and putting your own personal spin on them, then use your super strength and smash that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see me reverse engineer another nostalgic novelty, you can click on the video right up here. And remember, every superhero, no matter how powerful, has a weakness.
Kryptonite. It's not harming me. Tough luck, Mitzelblick, but green kryptonite doesn't have any effect on me in your crazy universe.
That's right, Super Smarty. But green beans do.
He's right. They're deadlier than kryptonite.
Farewell, good friend. You'll be missed beyond words.